Good morning. Good morning. It's time to start our day. Good morning. Good morning to you. Go ahead and flip that phone off, turn it off and over, and let's head on to our mat. So, if you have anything to drink, as always, go ahead and I got my slippers still on. Look at those, my little Christmas present from my kids. Um, Go ahead and take your drinks of whatever you're drinking and then just put it away. Put it away. And we'll focus on the kyphotic curve, the part of the body that really likes to hunch over. We'll focus on that today. And then throughout the week, why don't we work on some balance? We haven't done that in a while, and that might be fun. Um, so finding a spot that feels really cozy and comfortable to you. If you always sit in Sukhasana, change it up. Sit on your ankles, sit between your feet, do the other leg in front. So we always want to be checking in that we're not just habitually doing things, we're mindfully aware. Okay. And we'll just take a moment of pause here. Now, as you find stillness in that Annamaya kosha, that physical body, that food body, allow yourself to lift the crown of the head to the sky and let that tailbone drop like a heavy, heavy anchor on a boat. And we'll turn the inner gaze on, that inner glance, that inward awareness to the breath body, the pranamaya kosha. Start to see the breath moving. See if you can challenge yourself to just watch the natural rhythm of your breath. Instead of making a yoga pattern in our breathing, just allow yourself to watch your own wildness. I think it's very challenging to do this. Just sitting up nice and tall and just for 1 minute, watch the way you breathe. Okay. On the second minute of centering, let's play for a moment. Let's shift our weight over to the left sits bone. So coming a little bit off balance, just leaning to the left and just leaning to the right, leaning to the left and leaning to the right. Notice that I'm not changing the spine. I'm keeping the spine still long instead of turning the spine. We're sitting up nice and tall. One more round, leaning to the left and leaning to the right. And then just going back and forth, gently back and forth, finding that center, finding that absolute base where the pelvic floor is shining straight down. So find that now. And as you come to a steady, centered stillness, use this next minute of centering and without moving at all, don't move at all. Imagine that we're going back to doing this rocking. We're not going to literally do it. We're just going to see if we can feel it energetically. So if we were in class together and I were looking at you, I wouldn't see you do any movements at all. This is all energetic. 1 minute finding balance energetically wise. And as you start to settle in for this final minute, we know we have all these different thoughts. We have so many thoughts we can pick. What is one thought inside your head right now that you can pull down and use as a mantra for our class today? So we could say, why are you here? What brings you to the mat? Why do you practice yoga? Why are you here specifically at 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever time you're watching? What is it for you right now? What is one thought that will help you get what it is that you're seeking? Okay. So for this last minute of centering, we're creating that mantra, that promise, that 1 or 2 word phrase that will help that body and mind integrate and you can get what you came for. So why are you here? Pick one mantra, one thought you're thinking. Beautiful. Start stretching out those inhales. Stretching out the exhale. Feeling the sense of balance in the breath as well. And when we're ready, bring our palms to touch. Remember the promise. Remember that mantra. Beautiful. And gently bring your chin to your chest. Open your eyes. See your fingertips. Remember that promise. Keep that right at the top of your brain the whole class and release. Awesome sauce. Let's grab a strap. Okay, and if you're sitting in Sukhasana, go ahead and crisscross the other way. Or if you're in a posture that you want to switch it up, go ahead and switch it up. And we're going to take our strap with an unlooped fashion. So there's no loop here. So again, we're talking today about the kyphotic curve. We're talking about that area from the middle of the shoulder blades to the base of the skull. As we hunch over the computer or the desk, this is what's happening to us. And as we do it more and more, these muscles get lax, these muscles get short, and all kinds of things happen. So we want to just open from this area. I like to think of these as the wings to the heart, right? The wings to the soul. Here's my green, bright, vibrant, loving state. And whatever I do with my arms is my reach from that center. So I love working with this area. It is the most challenging area to open because we're built so perfectly. It protects these very important organs. And so there's not a tremendous amount of flexibility in that area. So we're really going to focus on alignment of the bones and also releasing those muscles. So go ahead and take your strap and we'll find the middle. And it does matter. I think it does matter to notice the middle and notice that your armpit to armpit. So we call that shoulder distance. Go ahead and take those arms out. Notice the palms are down. Big inhale and exhale. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, reach those arms up. and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just feel yourself pulling that strap apart. One more. Now, are you feeling the length of your spine? We're going to just bring those hands right behind the head here, trying to pull that strap apart. Find a place where you can have goalpost arms so that the wrists are right over right over the elbows. Okay, big inhale and exhale, pull down. Inhale, push. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy and so heavy to bring down. Challenge yourself to keep your head sitting right on top. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to be quiet here. Do 5 more. You're challenging yourself to really feel the heaviness. We're not just flopping them out. Good. The next time it's up in the air, let it stay. Take it all the way up. Open the arms now into a big old Y and start to drop that left arm and stretch. Pull the strap apart though. Now look at your wrist. Are you flippy floppy here? Are you getting a weakness there? Keep the arms nice and strong. Look down to the left and breathe. Pull the strap apart. Very dynamic. It's not just easy. We're making it work. One more. Beautiful. Exhale. Come on up. Stay, readjust, and take it to the second side. Take your gaze to the right if that feels nice on your neck. Notice that there's no flippy floppies in the wrist. You're powerful here. 3 more breaths. One more deep breath. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep it up, sweep it up. Now we're going to exhale, take the strap even wider, and we're going to put it right around the bra strap, right at the base of those shoulder blades. Again, notice those wrists, maybe even a soft bend in the elbow if you find that you hyperextend, and just hold here. Sitting right on top, we're going to turn the head to the right and to the left. Pull the strap apart. We're not cranking the neck. We just want to see how far we can turn easily. What is the ability to rotate here? Is there a tweak on one side? A little pinch? Just bring your attention to it. And also, working a little bit deeper, bring your attention that your ears are staying level. You're not dipping when you turn, dumping the ear on the shoulder, but that you're keeping the roof of your mouth level. The ear is level the whole time. 2 more. Beautiful. Go ahead and release that strap, and we'll take it up and over and toss it to the side. Let's go into moving our lower body for a moment, and we'll come back to the shoulder work. Here we are, coming into hands and knees. Hands and knees, please. So we're going to we do the cat-cows quite often. We move the spine. But for today, we're going to see if we can keep the bottom half level, but just move the juiciness of those shoulders. So start to find that rolling action. 3 and 4 and 5, reversing it. 5 and 4. And as I said, sometimes we feel very stiff in this area and it doesn't feel very fluid at all. That's part of the mindfulness of just noticing where you are. 1 more and pause. Checking in with eye of the needle. Take your left arm up, feel the shoulder blade moving towards the spine, and then right across that nipple line, reach it through. That's 1. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, move the shoulder blade towards the spine. And if you need a block for a pillow, as always, you're going to grab it. And then 2. Inhale, sweeping the arm up. Watch where your spine is. Keep that spine right in the middle of your mat. You're twisting around the axis of the spine. You're not moving it into a diagonal place. 4. Open, open, open. Reach. 1 more deep, deep breath. And this time, if you need the block, grab it. Otherwise, bring your hand out, reaching. Bring your ear to the floor. Feeling that, some of you can actually grab those interlaced fingers and feel the action that you're pulling that left shoulder blade out of the spine. Now feel what it feels like to literally shrug the shoulders a little bit. You've got this very dynamic twist of the head. Does it feel okay on your neck? Do you need a block or a pillow? And what about when the shoulders shrug? Does that feel good for you too? If you want to take your right foot back and extend that leg, that gives you a little bit more of a dynamic stretch. And you're wanting to double check again and again and again that your spine is right in the middle of the mat. We don't want to be going offline here. Can you send breath between the spine and that left shoulder blade? Okay, let's try something a little different. So here we are. You're feeling how that left shoulder blade is moving towards the spine. We just did Eye of the Needle where we were moving the shoulder blade towards the spine. So let's see if we can challenge it. We'll come to the other side in just a minute, but go ahead and take your hands and knees and go ahead and take yourself up to downward facing dog. Now we can find that left shoulder blade finding a neutral line. It's not dragging towards the spine. It's not pulling away from the spine. It's in that middle. Keep pressing through the left thumb, the left pointer finger. There's a soft bend in the elbow, but pretty much it's extended, it's straight. And you're going to release that left ear from the left shoulder. Let yourself find some length on that left side of the neck. Maybe you can feel really the imbalance here that we've only worked the one side. I definitely know that I feel that. 1 more deep breath. And now gently walk your feet forward, coming into a standing forward fold. And slowly, 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 slowly come on up, up, up. And let's see about something here. Let's see about it. Such a sense of curiosity here. Take your block to the right side of your mat, and we're going to come into triangle pose, and we're still going to explore just that one side. Again, I hope that you're noticing how imbalanced it feels. So we're lining up for triangle pose. We have that right heel in line with that left arch. We're double checking that we have the knees safely stacked over those second, third toe. And we're going to inhale, reach those arms open. Keep focusing on left shoulder. Okay, and start to tilt yourself over here, finding that block or 2, and you're going to drop that left shoulder, feel that breath between the shoulder and the spine, and then slowly just drag the elbow up and then drop it down. Like a marionette, someone's pulling you up and down. Slowly pulling it up and down. Notice I'm keeping the hand right across the nipple line. I'm not taking it down by my waist or up by my nose. I'm keeping it right in its socket. Now here we are. We're going to hang here. We're going to hang here. And when you feel ready to go ahead and extend that arm up, finding that balance, that position where that shoulder blade can just snuggle right in. Some of you might even want to hold the head. Feel the weight of that 10 to 12 pound head and find that neutral position of the shoulder blade that we just found when we were in that downward dog. Just play. What if the lowest part of the skull moved away from those shoulders? You're getting lots of extension right there through that neck. 2 more deep breaths. So cool, right? Now bend that knee, and slowly, slowly, slowly come up, and we're going to release. Last thing before we go to the other side, bend that knee. So the right knee is bending. We're moving for Virabhadrasana 2. Same thing with the arms. Inhale, sweep the arms wide. The left arm is going to close and then open. Watch it go. Use your head to go with it. 2. And reach. Do you feel how it snuggles in? And away, moving slowly, moving slowly. 3, 2 more. And then the last one, away. And then here we go. We're going to turn the palms up. We're going to interlace those fingers right on top of the head. And we're going to try to reach the crown of the head to the sky. We're going to try to reach the elbows to the sides of the room. And we're going to try to drop that tailbone to the floor. 5 breaths. If it feels better to put your hands behind the head, you could do that as well. We're looking for length in the cervical spine, length in the cervical spine, that neck getting longer and longer, those shoulders sliding, the roots of the shoulders down. 1 more. Beautiful. Come on up. We're going to find ourselves walking together, 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 together in this little cool maneuver that I have going on there. Look at that move. Whoa. And we're going to go back down to the floor for the second side. Here we go. Inhale, feel those wings to the heart. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, nice, strong, and powerful length in the spine here. Feel those belly muscles turning on. Exhale, find a graceful way to step back to downward dog, right back down to hands and knees. For eye of the needle on the second side, 5 times. Right arm up. Feel the shoulder blade moving towards the spine, and then reach it away. 4 more times. If you need the pillow, grab the pillow. Are you keeping your spine right in the middle of your yoga mat? Breathe. 2 more. Last one. And go ahead and land it. So again, maybe you're going to feel like you need a pillow here. So you'll grab it if you feel like you do. Some of you will interlace your fingers and pull those hands out, maybe even extending that left knee out, finding length. There's a little shrug to the shoulders, so seeing how the neck feels about that. And breathe. So good. Okay, so there's that shoulder blade moving away from the spine, and you've got a tremendous amount of breath and space there. Now let's come out. Let's come back to hands and knees, and let's see if we can find our neutral line here. Back up, Adho Mukha Svanasana, and see if you can find that balance. Not away, not towards, but right in that neutral. Really pressing that right hand down. Little soft bend on that right elbow, perhaps, and then dragging that right ear outside of the shoulder. For the next 5 breaths, see if you can breathe in front of and behind the heart center. How much can you drop that head? Perhaps in this round you feel a little bit more balanced, knowing we've worked both shoulders. Last exhale here. When you're ready, you're going to gently walk your feet forward into Uttanasana and slowly, slowly, slowly come on up. And we'll place a block at the left side of the mat for triangle on the other side. Again, establishing awareness in this right side. Here we go. Heel to arch align. Inhale, sweep those arms out nice and wide. Exhale, go ahead and tip yourself over for this downward dog. And then drop. Feel that shoulder blade. And then just the elbow. And then drop. Pretend you're like a little marionette and someone's pulling up that arm bone just to the elbow. 2 more. Just juice it up. All right, go ahead and take that arm all the way up. Again, maybe that feels best for you. Maybe you'd like to add a little 12-pound boulder. Who doesn't want to add a 12-pound boulder? Hold on to that head. Find that length in the spine all the way from lower back, middle back, upper back, all the way to bottom neck, middle neck, top of neck. Two more deep breaths. Beautiful. Let's put a bend in this left knee and let's pull ourselves up for Virabhadrasana 2, legs finding Virabhadrasana 2. Shake it out, shake it out. Open those arms nice and wide. We're going to turn the head as we need to, as we feel like it, okay? Close that right arm, watch it, and then watch it open. And 2, close it up and watch it open. Last one, reach it, feel that action, and then deciding where you want to end, up here on the head, at the base of the neck, where you're just really pulling up, whatever you want to do. Big, big breaths. Elbows are moving away from you, fingers are moving toward, crown of head is reaching upward, tailbone is dropping down. Beautiful. Last one. We're going to slowly straighten that leg and then release those arms right into Yoga Mudra. So we're going to interlace those fingers behind us. Take your heels slightly wider than the toes. This is important on our knees. So double check that you've got that happening. Inner thighs are rolling. And we're slowly, take your time, we're going to come into a forward fold with our knuckles in the air. This is a place where people get very stuck. So just imagine that you're putting a little bit of oil into those shoulder blades, little shoulder rolls here. Wherever you are is a nice place to be. Just bring some freedom there. 5 more breaths. And beautiful. Go ahead and bring your hands to the floor. Find a gentle way to come back into downward facing dog. And then we're going to go ahead and bring our knees straight down to the floor and pause for a moment. Pause. Let's take a block. right there at the top on a high level. Now, not everybody likes this. I frankly wonder about it myself. It doesn't really soothe me, but I know that a lot of people do. So I'm offering it to you if you find it that's suitable, find it nice for you. What we're going to do is put some position of our head on that block. It's going to remind us to push into the block. If you find that it's creating more crunch, then get rid of it. Okay. Here we are, hands and knees, finding a place that you can go up to your downward dog and put the head on the block. Depending upon how flexible you are, you may find that your block can be a little bit lower. And depending upon your alignment also, maybe you'll have to figure out where the best position is for your neck to be long. Right now I have the forehead and the hairline is where my head is positioned. I feel like my neck can be nice and neutral there. It takes a little bit of the weight out of my wrists. So if you feel like your wrists are not very strong today, this might be suitable for you. Otherwise, maybe gravity's your buddy. Gravity's the buddy here. You can pretend the block is there and push, drag that head to the floor, lifting the inner sides of the arms, lifting the armpits up, up, up and away, pushing the thumb side down, really getting lots of traction in that middle back. Letting gravity help. 2 more deep breaths. You could even nod your head. Yes, yes, I'm going to let go of all this tension. 1 more. Beautiful. And then we're going to bring our knees down here, knees down. Walk yourself back so you have a little runway. Keep the hips right over those knees and challenge yourself to find a what we call puppy pose. So it's the same thing as downward dog, except that our knees are down. Challenge yourself to keep those hips right above the knees as best you can and reach. Working a little deeper, maybe you'll put the hands on the shoulder blades, really opening up that underside. And we'll stay here for about 10 breaths. If there's anything about this posture that doesn't feel soothing to you or nourishing, then you need to back off and find a new way. Finding where our head was on the block, that forehead and hairline, keeping that neck from dumping. What's it mean if you turn the palms to the sky? Do you feel like you're getting a little bit more space there in that area? And we're talking to the area between the shoulder blades here. Turning the palms up, bending the elbows, whatever you feel like is getting there. 3 more breaths. Beautiful. And we'll come back to hands and knees. So we talked at the beginning about balance, right? And I hope you're noticing that we've done a lot of asymmetrical poses today. We've done a lot of out of balance, noticing when you go out of balance. Okay. So for right now, we're going to come back into our hands and knees and we're going to balance in a different sort of way. This is one of my favorite things to do, especially with that area of the back we're talking about. Go ahead and put your blocks up nice and tall and finding hands and knees again. If you feel like you want to do some shoulder rolls here just to see about this position, again, it's not an easy area to get to. We're built so perfectly that it's very protective of the heart. So we want to really notice this area. Find your breath there. Roll the shoulders if that helps with the mindfulness. 2 more deep breaths. And then here we go. On the next exhale, we're going to go back up to downward dog and we're going to walk our feet forward with our feet as wide as the mat. And we're going to let ourselves squat. Okay. Now notice the balance here. I'm letting my tailbone drop. I'm trying to get this thing heavy. I've told you before, one of the things I love to do is to hang on the kitchen sink. This is a nice way to open up that lower back. There's not studies, it's commonly known that the lower back and the neck curve are mirror images. So if you're dumping here, you're dumping here, because we always want to find the balance. So both of these mirror curves are what we have to focus on in order to open one. So finding this squat position, finding this dropping, this heaviness, and then this dropping. So it's like a little seesaw here. Do, 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 do. Okay. From there, you're going to take your hands on the blocks and you're going to walk back as far as you want to. And you're just going to find release. Now, as you're doing this, let's talk about what's happening. So number one, you've got your feet as wide as the mat and you're leaning on the outside edges of the heels plus the big toes. So in other words, you've got that outer and inner leg line fired up. Number two, you're letting the tailbone drop naturally. You're not tucking it. You're not squeezing it. You're just letting the thighs block your middle belly from flexing the other way. And so it's encouraging this nice little child's pose curve in the lower back. The dropping of the chin to the chest is giving you another balancing. So you're balancing the big heavy head with the big heavy pelvis. So see if you can just find that rainbow curve here for a couple more breaths, breathing deeply. Your hands are on the blocks. The blocks are at the height level. And then now really to find that middle spine, press firmly into those blocks. Really try to pull those pinky sides of the hands away from you. So you're trying to stretch outer armpits, outer elbows, outer pinkies, pushing heavily into the block. And then take those shoulder blades and remove them from the spine. So try to pull them wrapping around towards the armpits. Play around with the head position. Would you rather look forward? Would you rather look down? Would you rather look between your legs? But you're really pushing into the blocks, pressing through the pinky side, reaching through the pinky side of the hand, and bringing your mind's attention to that area. And then you're going to breathe. You can squat more and more and more. Almost as if you can't hardly even grab the blocks, they're so far away. One more deep breath. And grab a hold of those blocks, walk them back, and finding Ardha Uttanasana, nice flat back. Keeping your back nice and flat, we'll just drop the chin and look down. Look forward. Look down, drop the chin. Look down, look forward. So the only thing that's changing here is the position of the gaze. You're looking forward, you're looking down, you're looking between your legs. Big nod for the head. If there's a place where it feels really good for you to stay, feel free to stay and hang out there. One more deep breath. Beautiful. And we will find our way back down to our knees and pause. Again, see if you can breathe into the heart, in front of the heart, behind the heart, left and right sides. Seeking that internal balance. One more deep breath. So nice. All right, what we're going to do now is take our blanket and we're going to try to make a foam roller. If you have a foam roller, maybe you'll use that instead. But we're going to take our blanket and I'm going to make a big roll because I know that my back likes the big ones. If you don't like it to be a real big back bend through your upper body, then you'll use a smaller roll or even just a fish pose block. I'm going all in here. Okay, so you're going to take your foam roller or your block or your pillow, whatever you got going on, and you're just going to take maybe a pillow too. And we're going to find that block, bolster, pillow, foam roller, whatever you got going on, can of soup. And you're going to put it right there in the middle of those shoulder blades. So not in the middle, but you're not at the bottom and you're not at the top. You're right in that area that we're talking to. Now take the other block underneath your head and find dolphin arms here. So dolphin arms, remember, are when the elbows are right over the shoulders and we keep the elbows shoulder distance apart. So there's a distance between them. Take your full palm and hold the block and close those elbows here. So you're holding those elbows right in their spot. Now look here for a moment. I can unhinge my elbow or I can hinge it. So it could come off the mat or I can keep it plugged in. Let's keep those shoulders plugged in. So very dynamic. Walk the heels wide, lean the knees together, and find this neutral. Here we go. Squeeze the block like you're trying to glue it together. Keep the distance between the elbows, but imagine you have another block between those and you're squeezing the elbows. But more important than anything else is those shoulder blades are even. They're balanced on your roll. You don't have one shoulder blade leaving and one staying. So you're seeking very balanced body here. Let's go 8 more breaths. We're staying dynamic. We're not letting go. Keep plugging in the elbows, plugging those shoulder blades to the mat, gluing those hands to the block. Really keep it dynamic. Really fire it up. And as you're doing it, the breath is easy. You're looking for stability as well as ease evenly. 2 more breaths. Now, yogi's choice, you can just release the arms out to the side if you want, or maybe you'll interlace the fingers behind you, turn the palms away, and maybe even start to straighten those legs. That's a big back bend. Working deeper still, maybe you'll release the pillow. So you're wanting to find something that's very comfortable for you so you're not pushing. Stay where you are or a little bit deeper. You'll take those interlaced fingers around the head now, interlaced fingers behind the head, just like we were doing when we were standing. Try to imagine that you're trying to touch the tips of the shoulder blade, the tips of the elbows away from you as you're pushing that heavy head into the hands. So if any of this feels too dynamic or tweaky on the shoulders, of course, you're not going to do it. Everyone else, we've got this very strong plug of our belly. The head is super heavy, pressing into the hands. The elbows are wide and they're trying to pull away from each other. And the shoulder blades are very level. They're both evenly on the ground. Again, looking for stability and ease. It's challenging to stay. Stay with us. 3 more breaths. Just let those bones line up. Let those muscles find their way. 3 and 2 and 1. Good. If this feels good to you, maybe you'll roll over to your left side and hold here. You'll even grab a block. If you're tired of this feeling, go ahead and come down and just do this on the mat. Okay, again, interlace the fingers behind the head, and all we're going to do is open, twist, see if we can touch the elbow back down, and then close. Inhale and open and close at your own pace now. The next time you open up, go ahead and hang out here. Shatara Parivartanasana, reclining side twist, and enjoy it. Double check that the spine is right in the middle of your mat. If you need to make any adjustments, feel free to do that so that we're twisting around the spine. And breathe. Beautiful. How was that? Good. Come on back up. And we're going to switch. So take yourself over to the other side. Interlace those fingers. Stay here if you're wanting to. Or 5 times at your own pace. Open. Feel that twist. And close. And open. And close. And holding here. When you're ready, take 5 big breaths. One more, 2 more, whatever you need. And when it's time for you to come up, come on up. And we'll go all the way off here, whatever props we're having. And we'll come to sit up for just a moment and feel that action on our spine. So come to a comfortable seated position here. Perhaps even folding your hands into your lap, sitting up nice and tall. Remember how at the beginning we energetically went back to side and then we found our balance? See if you can do that again. Feel the unsteadiness and then feel the plugging in. I don't know how many of you are fishermen, fisherwomen, women, but when you cast a fishing rod, it drops into the water and then the weight goes shoo, and it goes right down. I want us to imagine that with our breath. We're going to fish down to the navel on the inhale and then pull it back up on the exhale. So down on the inhale and back up on the exhale, challenging ourselves to create this visualization that we're taking it in from the nose down the spinal column, cleaning out anything that's like any debris, anything that's chaotic in there, feeling it fill up. And then exhale, surrendering the muscles as we lift the energy. So surrounding the attention to the spine, lifting and lowering energy through the spinal column, but the muscles and the bag of bones is staying relaxed. So a lot of energetic work. Here we go. 8 breaths meditating on what we call flossing the breath. Here we go. Inhale, nose to navel. Pull the fishing line up. Exhale, navel to nose. Keep going. Samavriti pattern, equal inhale, equal exhale. Keep it going. Keep that breath going. But let's take our arms wide again. Feel that line up. And then left arm on top. Give yourself a big old hug. Oh, good girl. Like give yourself a big old hug. Feel the shoulder blades away from the spine. You're still breathing through the spine. Maybe drop your chin. One more deep breath. And come back to neutral. Inhale. Feel that action step. Open. Feel that action step. Close. Right arm on top again. Give yourself a big hug. Pat on your back. Nice work. Nice work. And drop the chin to your throat again. Whatever you need to do here. 5 breaths. Energy is lifting, but muscles are relaxing. Reminding yourself of that mantra that you said. Come on back to neutral and pause. What brought you to the mat today? How deeply can you breathe? Not just in length, but even into the tissues. How nourished can you be? We're heading to our final posture, and it's an important one. You want to find one that's really going to soothe you in the ways you need to be soothed. Okay, so a couple of options. Number one, if you're still wanting to do the folding back, I would say take a blanket here and make your accordion fold. Okay, your little accordion fold. Tip the head or the top of it underneath so you have a little bit of a pillow. And you could lie down with the spine on that and have a nice big opening. You could make it more intense, of course, by using blocks and making a fish pose. But since this is a restorative posture, we may not want to be really energized, but that's up to you. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and take blocks underneath my knees so that I can really be relaxed. If you're wanting a little hip opener, you could take Baddha Konasana like this as you're down. So you finding ways that work for you. Another option that I really do enjoy is opening my back by making sure my legs are in proper alignment. So I could take a strap around my ankles. I could keep my feet and knees hip distance apart, even putting something between them if I wanted to. Heels wide, toes in. And then the arms either overhead or out to the sides. And finding this little middle back bend. It's not too intense. If you feel like you need some energy, then you know you can always take your incline. Same posture. Just building yourself a little ramp. And that's a nice place to pause too. Whatever you need. Whatever you need. So take your time to get there now. Moving towards your stillness. And we're going to let go of the breath now. Let go of the breathing techniques. Let yourself go back to the beginning where you breathe as you breathe and you're just watching that wildness. As you settle into this posture, as I've been saying in the last couple of classes, stress actually decreases melatonin. So stress actually prevents us from being restful, right? Literally. And so Shavasana at the end of every class is so important because it's a place where your body rests, right? So that you can absorb the work inside the rest. But if the mind is going, the body is not resting. So you have to find a tool for the mind in order to get the rest at sleep, night time, or also here in our Shavasana. So once the body goes still, we need something to quiet the mind. And that is up to you. Some people like to count backwards from 50, 50, 49, 48, 47. If they forget what number they're on, they start over 50, 40. It just gives you something boring to focus on instead of the stress. Another option is to simply watch the belly rise, watch the belly fall. Watch the belly rise, watch the belly fall. Okay? Whatever causes you the most calm state is the task you want to pick. Okay? It's a new year. It's a new year. Welcome to it. As always, thank you so much for keeping your light on. Thank you so much for being a part of our community. It matters. Deep bows to you all. Enjoy your Shavasana, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.